Hey, my name is Kyle. I serve as a pastor here at Southeast Christian Church. Several years ago, we began our Southeast online ministry. Actually, it began at the beginning of 2019. And while all of us, along with the rest of the world, had no idea what was coming later that year, clearly God knew because He allowed us to start this ministry just in time. And we've been overwhelmed by the countless stories that have begun with someone, just like you are right now, tuning in online and leaning in, hearing what God might want to say to them, and then taking a next step, usually to be involved in some kind of a community. Maybe that's getting plugged into one of our campuses if you live near one, or maybe it's getting plugged into a local church in your area. We're happy to help you with that. Or maybe it's finding community in an online group, but it is our heart, it's our prayer for you that as an online community that you not just connect deeply to Jesus, but that you connect deeply with other people. That's part of God's plan for you. So if you do live close to one of our campuses, can I just challenge you to come in person, especially these next few weeks? It's a great series to come and be a part of. If you're new to Southeast, as a church, we've been studying in 2024 the book of Romans. We're about halfway through that book or so, and we're taking a 3-week break from going through Romans by chapter and verse. And for 3 weeks, we're going to be exploring some of the major themes in Romans in this series that we call At the Movies. So the challenging part about this series is that due to copyright issues, we can't show these movie clips online. Like, you have to come in person to see these messages, to experience them for yourself. And so if you can, I would love to have you join us for this At the Movies series. It's a great opportunity not only for you to come, if you've been putting it off, or to also invite a friend, family member, somebody in your circle of influence to come along with you. One of the themes that we've seen throughout the book of Romans, and we'll see actually even more of in the second half of Romans, is learning how to love and live with difficult people, which is something all of us could be a little bit better at. Like, maybe you're watching this with a difficult person. Like, don't look at them right now. But if you live with somebody, at some point, they're gonna be pretty difficult. And we've been talking about how to live with people that disagree with you, people who might have been raised differently than you, people who have different perspectives and opinions than you do. And maybe the way we would say it is people who are wrong, right? Like, they disagree with us, that must be because they're wrong. But Paul's writing to a church in Rome that's filled with people who don't necessarily have a lot in common. It's filled with Jewish believers and Gentile believers. And look, they just did things different. They had different traditions and different perspectives and different opinions and different politics and different backgrounds. And so in the first chapters of Romans, Paul is making this one great appeal to them to accept one another based on the one thing they have in common. That what they have in common is greater than any differences that might divide them, that they have been saved by grace through faith in Jesus. And that one common denominator trumps everything else that might put us at odds with one another. And with this idea in mind, as we get into these latter chapters of Romans, Paul's going to get just very practical with, okay, how do you do that? Like, how do you get along with really difficult people? And in Romans 15, verse 7, he simply puts it this way: accept one another then, just as Christ accepted you, in order to bring praise to God. When you